Hey guys, it's Shane Benedict from Liquid Logic Kayaks, and I am here at the pre-race Halloween party for the green race. And I'm here with Jason Hale, one of the, what's your title? What's your title here, man?
My best title is the longest racer. So this will be 22 out of the 24 if I plan on racing this year, which is high, like Annie old high. So I wish Annie was here, so he'd be like, it's fine.
Yeah,
but
all good to go.
It's all good to go. It'll be a good year. I'm also one of the 3 organizers / owners of the green race. That would be myself, Chelsea Grace, who's the main staple, and John Grace, who is also the main staple. I'm just like, here for kind of shits and giggles. But yeah, so the green race, I mean,
let me preface just a little bit. What I wanted to do, go with talk to Jason about is sort of the history of the green race and kind of go into the folks that started it, maybe a little bit of the original history, other people that have helped with the organization, and then just little tidbits you got through the years,
yep.
And how it's kind of evolved from the very beginning to where we are now.
Okay, so it was, I would say 1995, golly time. I was in the van. There was 3 or 4 of us. I know Leland was in there, and I was like, hey, I'm going to do a race on the green. And Leland was like, it's fucking way too dangerous. I'm like, well, I'm going to do one. He's like, well, I'm going to bring waivers. I was like, well, looks like we need to pick a date. So we picked a date, and it seems like that first year was like February, right? We soon after that, we stuck till we were like, oh, let's do it in November, but we couldn't do a date. So that's where we came up with first Saturday in November, and that works really well, and it still works today. If you tell somebody what's first first Saturday in November, they're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna be on the green race, no weddings, no funerals, right. Nothing. I'm occupied. Even my friends in California are like, first Saturday in November? Yeah, hell, won't be here.
Nice.
And then we just kind of started from there, and the first race was like 9 to 10 racers, maybe 12, and then it's just grown after that. And then as it started growing, like 3 years into it, with the backing of LVM Lunch Video Magazine, we really started, getting it publicized to the locals and to some out-of-towners. So then we started bringing them in. Well, there were so few of us, both spectators and racers. I'm like, we need more stuff to do out here. So we would know the winner after the race. And then what I would do with the race, I'm like, all right, we know who won because, we got the girls' timing and everything, and we'll get to that. And then I would seed them, and that's where we did our head-to-head. And we did our head-to-head for probably 10 green races, maybe.
Was it that long?
It might have been more.
Wow.
I definitely remember some of my kayak racer friends was really upset when I cut it. But at that point, we had so many spectators coming in, like up to 1,000, that you couldn't carry your boat back up from Rapid Transit to below Gorilla. There was just too many, or it was getting to that point. Telling everyone, and this was still just kind of Leland, myself, and I think Dixie Marie had started integrating herself in a lot. I was like, I just want an hour of power. That's one racer every 60 minutes. That's all I want.
Every 60 seconds.
Every 60 seconds. Yeah. And so that flew by so fast.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at 3 hours of power, and it's like, and but we kept pushing the long boats, and what we would do is we would let people do any, whatever they wanted to do. We had this thing called like the Green Man, which was short boat, long boat, hand paddle, so they could just stack it up. But then we started getting so many of those competitors that we had, because we want to really cut it off at 3 hours. That's kind of like the most that the timers can handle. They're sitting on those rocks. It's very cold, and it's hard to sit in one space. And the start timers, they're sitting there just, all right, 10 seconds.
That's a lot.
And it's
3
like,
hours
you're
to
like,
organize. That's crazy.
It's really complex. And then, so I had Dixie Marie, and Leland kind of, he just was like, okay, I'm ready to, pass the torch. So Dixie Marie and myself took it over from probably, I'd say, I've been with it the whole time, but then Dixie Marie started being my main helper, and with it from, I'd say, like 2000 to 2005, and it could be varied, a year or two there.
Yeah.
And we did a great job, and then that's whenever, like, I was moving away, but I needed some more help, and Dixie Marie was kind of done with it and me and everything like that. Imagine that. And so then I was like, who can I trust to hold my business plan and mission statement? And then that is, no racers pay a fee. Yes, you guys buy bibs, but you don't pay a race fee. And that way we can, only excuse you have is you're scared, which is sometimes a really smart excuse for like this year, And so I was like, well, nobody else better than, John Grace himself. And little did I know, I'm like, well, John, I love you. Why don't I just give you guys a third and a third, and I'm a third. And I didn't know Chelsea's skill set at all, but I was like, do you know how to do, Excel? And she's like, I'm like, John, I love you and I love your wife. And since then, I mean, John and I have always been friends. And I even tried to, like 2007, I was like, dude, I'm done with it. He's like, you're not done with it. He's like,
come on.
He bought me a ticket and flew me in,
Awesome.
And so it's like,
dude, you're the heart of it. You're the heart of it.
It's push and pull, but it's the backbone is definitely John and Chelsea.
Yep.
And we've been together since 2005, 6, 7 to present day. And I mean, everyone knows if they don't know, John and Chelsea do all the legwork, the sponsorships and everything. And I come in a week before and run my tail off and do whatever I can do to help. But without John and Chelsea, the green race would not be what it is.
Some beer
tokens. See? Go ahead.
So how about a few highlights, like a few memorable things throughout the.
Well, I mean, it was definitely, we had, since Red Bull is kind of back involved, looking to break the 4-minute barrier this year. They're one of our sponsors, so awesome. I will give them a salute out. And my good buddy Kyle Shacker, he was with us, and I want to say it was 2005 or 3. He's like, I got some products. We're like, cool. We didn't even care. He's like, well, what about the Red Bull Arch? And Tommy and John were like, well, dude, we'll roll it down there. And we blew it up.
Hilarious.
We blew it up the day before. And so that Red Bull Arch is going over the notch. We didn't tell any racers about it, And so then they're bombing through there, and everybody's like, dude, what's going on?
It was so crazy.
It was a great grassroots shout out to Red Bull. And then they kind of moved away from us and they thought we were going to go away, and I'd say they were substantially wrong. So I think they're back, and we love that they're back. But nobody drops the green race.
No doubt. That was a.
We're like, we'll hold our own, and we've had races, compared to other races, there's greater, bigger races. But if you notice it, we don't push the prestige of our race. We're not doing a qualifier and pushing and cutting racers out, because if a racer can race and is willing to race, we want racers to race. And I think that's a lot of the whitewater's too small to cut racers. NFC, Sick Line, they cut the racers to 10 racers, and then everybody's watching only 10 racers. That's bullshit. I would much rather see Evan Garcia, who got cut, run North Fork, and all your bros. You want to see your bros post a time. And I think that's something that we know as the green race.
Yeah.
Don't be too prestigious. Like, racing is about racers racing. So when you start cutting them out, you're cutting the heart and soul of your fucking race out.
Well, and I think that's the essence this race has been always that, hey, come post time.
And people are like, I don't want to do a long boat. And I may give them shit, but I'm like, man, I'd rather you come in a short boat or whatever and post your time. And trust me, next year you might think about doing a long boat. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's that camaraderie, because we have so many people that aren't going to be Dane or Pat or whoever, but they're going to be one of their friends, and that's what it's about. There's all these intermingling, little gambles and stuff, but yeah, I mean, a big shout out for Leland for, Leland Davis. I would have still gotten it done, but he was right there, and he's like, well, I'm going to be a part of this. And, I think he thought about it. He's like, maybe it's not too crazy, and and Leland rocked it, and basically it's a great time, and I don't think it's ever going away. It's only going to grow in funness. Every year it seems like it's a better green race, which is hard if you've been down there in the pit or on the banks or in racing. It's good times.
And I'll tell you,
you raced when you were 50. Last time you raced,
it is. It's been a while. It's been a while.
When you gonna bring it back?
We'll talk about that later. But I would say, like, it's really cool to see the progression and see the building and the community of it. I love how everybody's so supportive and giving each other shit and including everybody.
Here's something you can definitely salute to is the boat design. I put this on the green race's shoulders. We, being whoever pushed the green race, whoever raced in the green race, we push long boats.
Can't argue that.
Green boat comes out, Stinger comes out, Piranha 12R comes out, now the Vanguard comes out. We were using tornadoes and whatever, but we're like, bitches, design us some new fast boats. And they did it, and then they're like, well, we're not going to be able to sell any. And if you look around, they've sold a lot, and they're so much nicer to paddle than those old tornadoes that we paddled. I salute the tornado. That's how I won my two.
Well, it's just super cool. It started out as such a little grassroots thing, and it's become a powerhouse, man. It's a powerhouse, but it's still a good.
And like when NFC, ever all the bros out kind of like NFC is the greatest race ever. I'm like, awesome. It is the strongest and hardest race to date. But I was like, we'll be here when y'all are gone. See you next time.
Right on. You guys keep going, and you're crushing it.
Yeah,
I love it. I
don't want any other races to go away. That's not my point at all.
Yeah.
I want more races to grow.
You're just talking shit.
I'm just talking shit, but I don't. I don't. It disturbs me when I hear of other races fading away.
Yeah.
I love racing, and I love the camaraderie, and I wish everyone had our business plan and special sauce. And a lot of that is Asheville, North Carolina, and the Green River Narrows that runs 300 days a year. So we got a lot of luck and love on our side. So.
We do.
We do.
Green Race 24. Let's do this.
All right. Roll Tide.